I'm just kidding, guys. It isn't the hometown movie guys today. Well, we had the theme song play, and I know I have guests here. I know. So guess what, Kevin Clark? We're not going to be talking about home loans and realtors. We're going to be talking about movies.
Oh, nice!
There you go.
Awesome.
I can't even remember the last time I was at the theater.
Hey, you got to get you some movie passes.
I guess,
so
okay.
you can enjoy
Sure.
a movie here at the Sawmill Movie Theaters. Yeah. So anyway, if you haven't guessed, it is not the hometown movie guys, but hopefully Andy, Craig, Tina are having a great day wherever they are. Next Friday, it will be the hometown movie guys. Today, we are going to be talking with Kevin Quame of Neighborhood Loans. And Clark Jones, who is the incoming president for the Central Arizona Association of Realtors, CAAR. And going to be talking about loans and about real estate agents in our community, you know, what they do other than selling homes, other than, you know, selling your home, finding a home, you know, for you to buy. There's so many other aspects of being a realtor, and they are connected to the community in so many different ways. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. So Kevin, first of all, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
And bring in a guest. I should call it the, you know, Kevin and Friends.
Yeah. Well, I really wanted to bring Clark on because there's so much that I wasn't even aware of what went on, what realtors actually do for communities besides just helping people buy homes, sell homes. And I learned a lot. I was on the board last year as a business affiliate, and I just learned a lot, you know, from that aspect. And I think it's some really good knowledge that people might need to hear. As I was surprised. You know, just a quick, and then I should give a quick little update. We had a good week. So all the agencies that we predicted what home values will do for this year, they all updated. Last year they all thought that we'd probably see a decrease in home values with just the way the market was with higher interest rates and everything. Well, they all updated this week and changed their predictions.
Okay.
That they're now thinking, which we're seeing as well, like by the end of the year that homes will have actually gone up anywhere from 3 to 5% from last year, which it's true, we're seeing that.
Yeah.
And you know, I know many people thought that the crash was happening. They thought it was going to happen in 2020. Didn't see it.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it yet here. We've seen mortgage rates go up, but then with the home values staying the way they are, you know, it's still, it's harder for people to qualify. But it's good news for home values that are staying. We're not seeing that crash. They're all staying there. And also heard this morning, saw some reports too, that those same agencies are now predicting even mortgage rates to drop, you know, into the sixes, lower sixes by the end of the year, which would be great. I don't know if that'll happen.
Gotcha.
We're almost there. I mean, and then even into next year, possibly into the fives by the mid-year to end of next year. Again, would be great. Yeah. But it's been a roller coaster is the term or the phrase I like to use. And hoping we could just see some more consistency in that downward direction for interest rates. So
so the two different topics you're talking about home values. It's very interesting to me how, as you said, increased home value is definitely a positive thing.
Yes.
But depending on a person's situation, when they see home prices continue to go up and they don't own a home, they're looking to buy a home, the home they're in, they've outgrown whatever their situation. For them, they're thinking, oh my gosh, they're just, you know, getting more and more out of our range. So you have to probably see a lot of that with, you know, depending on who you're dealing with, people that are, yay, all right, my home value is increasing, awesome.
Yeah, but I actually did talk to a couple people this week who even mentioned that. They're like, we were going to wait until interest rates went down, but now with the home values still increasing, we're not going to wait. We're just going to, and if rates go down next year, we want to get into the home now, and then we can just refi. And then, which is great. I was like, hey, do you guys want to come and work for me? I'm like, this is great, because this is exactly what I talk about. Because when the rates do come back down, you're going to see more people are going to list their homes, more listings. You're going to see more buyers come out, so the competition's going to get higher, and then you're going to, you know, have those multiple offer situations again. You're going to have people going over ask. You're going to have, like, you know, basically the first time home buyer is going to be on the sideline again. And it's going to be so easy just to be sitting in your home into refi during that time versus trying to have to buy. So,
Yes. So I was just going to ask you the downside, if there was any, to decreasing interest rates, home interest rates, because the majority of people I'd have to think, all right, rates are going down, this is great for everyone. But as you pointed out, first-time home buyers, it might be a little more challenging.
And you still, and I have comparisons where you can show it, like even buying now, where with your rate and payment at now, even if it's a little higher and paying a little more interest, you're still losing out even if you wait, because that home's going to keep appreciating, as we're seeing.
Yes.
And you're going to keep paying down your mortgage balance, and you're going to gain more equity, and then the tax benefits and all that. You're still, you know, it sounds crazy to buy now with a higher payment than waiting until you can get a lower payment. That's one of the reasons, like the home values, as long as they keep going up, you're still going to be ahead of the game 6 months to a year later, and then just refinance, you know.
Yeah.
So, but again, I know it sounds a lot easier said than done at times, and it still has to make sense for you financially. You can't just go in and just have nothing left over either after buying a home, but
have to qualify.
But there's a lot of things to look at.
Yeah. So Clark, you are here today as the incoming president of the Central Arizona Association of Realtors. How long have you been involved with that group?
Well, I've been a licensed real estate agent since 1980.
So you've been doing it for a few years.
Yeah. But I have not been a realtor. I became a realtor, which is different,
Okay.
in 1994.
Okay.
And so that's been involved with the organization since 1994.
Wow. Okay.
In this area
Uh-huh.
for all that time. There is a difference between licensed and realtor.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of people misunderstand what realtor is or means, but it's a step above a licensed agent.
Gotcha.
We abide by a code of ethics. We're a self-policing organization, so if you violate the code of ethics, you can be brought before a hearing panel and disciplined. So that's the part that I like, because we are held to a higher standard.
Gotcha.
I am also on the State Association Professional Standards Committee, which is the policing agency. So it listens to both ethics complaints and arbitration for transactional deals with money. That's dealt with money. I enjoy it. I've been involved with leadership for decades.
Wow.
I enjoy it. It's rewarding. Like Kevin said earlier before we went on mic, most people don't know what they don't know until they get involved with leadership, because there's the other side that realtors do, which I will speak about.
Yeah. No, so how many members are there in CAAR?
Right now, we have it grouped. There's primary members, which are here, and secondary members, which are members outside our area that can join. And I think we're total, I believe, realtor, primary, secondary, and appraisers, I believe we're somewhere around 630.
Wow.
Which, that, historically, we are the largest we've ever been.
Wow. And I guess that's good to point out, because Central Arizona, so what is the region or area that the group covers?
We cover all the way down to Tonto Basin, up to Happy Jack, clear over to, we overlap with the White Mountains Association, which is Pine Top Sholo. We overlap some of the coverage area in Heber Overgard.
Wow, so that's a pretty big area.
Yeah, it's large.
And a lot of a lot of realtors, or a lot of agents, or a combination, I guess, of both.
Well, and agents, licensed agents, they access the information through us.
Yeah.
The MLS systems, also online.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, we had a book that we went by, but now the online stuff is a great asset for us. A lot of the early thinking was it wasn't going to be that great, but it actually is a very good tool, the online internet, but you need a filter.
Yeah.
Because just because it's online doesn't mean it's true.
So I have to ask, we have to go back a ways for this, but what drew you into real estate?
I'm actually a second generation.
How many generations?
Second.
Second, wow.
My father was in the business in another state. I was in the business in another state. We had other businesses that we had, family businesses, but it was mainly a finance company, escrow company, and a real estate company at that time. And then when I moved over here, well, I also had my securities license back then. Now here, I just do real estate because I enjoy it. Well, you know, it's a big transaction for a person, and I enjoy it. It's very frustrating sometimes, but it's very rewarding too.
Yeah, I think you know, anything that's larger in scale, it can be more frustrating. There can be more problems. There are bigger problems that are inherent to those bigger deals. But as you pointed out, it's also more rewarding.
So rewarding.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit then about the realtors that are part of CAAR and some of the involvement that you have within the community.
Well, the Realtor Association has a organization within it called RAPAC for this state, and that stands for Realtors of Arizona Political Action Committee. It does a lot of stuff it's mainly set up to protect private property rights and help our business, keep our business viable. The local association also gets involved with the community with scholarships for graduating high school students, also with participating in charity events, giving to charities through the year. Also, on the RAPAC side, the state association, which is, I am real proud of this, over the years, has changed the state constitution 3 times.
Wow.
The first time was to allow realtors to draft contracts in real estate. So that was done the first time, and I don't remember exactly what year it was. Time flies. So actually in this state, we are held to a higher standard than a lot of the other states. The second thing we did was to change the state constitution to prevent transfer tax, real estate transfer tax. Some of the other states have it, and it can be as high as 10% off the seller's net, meaning that's equity theft.
Wow.
Yeah, 10%. The third thing we did just recently was change the constitution because the state legislators were looking for additional revenue. They were thinking about putting in a real estate service tax, or actually not just real estate, but a service tax. So anyone that performed a service in the state was going to be taxed. Huge.
Oh, yeah.
If you think of all the people that perform services, that was going to be another tax. So we changed the state constitution again by vote and referendum to prevent that, which is huge.
Oh, yeah. And going back to the tax on the home, a seller,
Right.
10%.
I mean,
Oh my goodness.
Think about that.
In Arizona, with the real estate market, how many homes are being sold, I mean, it just, and I'm not very familiar with, you know, the market state to state, but I would have to imagine Arizona in comparison to Iowa, Nebraska, you know, some of these Midwestern states where there's not a lot of action. You know, maybe not a lot of building going on. The communities, the towns and cities are older, more established, and I mean, in Arizona, you have to have like one of the highest construction rates, the homes being built, like with Las Vegas or Nevada,
Right.
You know, in different places that a lot of people are moving to. So the impact that would have, that's crazy.
Every real estate transaction, depending on what type it is, can affect 32 different individuals, businesses, generating income. Getting back to the political action thing, at the national level, we battle every year FEMA, flood insurance program. Every year it comes up for renewal. If that was not in place and operating, probably 14,000 transactions across the United States would not happen on a regular basis. So that's part also of the next, because there's 3 levels, local, state, and national. And the national, we meet with the legislators in Washington, D.C. every May. We actually come to D.C. and chat with them on our issues that we have regarding private property rights, issues with that type of thing, and numerous others.
So as you were saying, Kevin, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think the biggest one there that really drew me in was that service to X you're talking about. So now just make sure I'm correct. So it's basically anyone that has like a small business that provides a service, nothing to do with real estate at all.
No.
But realtor associations help fight against that. So someone that's like owns a hair salon or a barber, like that,
Dentist.
doesn't have to pay an extra taxes. And I guarantee you there's so many people that don't know that.
Yeah, and you know where those taxes, if that did pass and that would have went through, then that's just passed on to the
consumer.
The
Yes,
consumer.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so, no, that's really good. So there's so much on, as you said, federal level, state level, local level, you know, those areas of involvement that realtors are right there on the forefront of a lot of these issues.
Right.
Yeah, that's really good. How about local? I know locally you're involved in quite a bit as well, right?
Well, and this goes back a ways. When the water project was going on with C.C. Cragen / Blue Ridge, the realtors, local realtors got involved and made it a political running issue because, you know, a town, if it's not growing, it's dying.
Yeah.
And that was a very important issue to take on. Because if we didn't get it, the town of Payson didn't get it, there were other entities that were standing in line.
Yeah, that would have gotten the rights.
Right,
the
allocations.
Rights,
right.
Yep, to the Blue Ridge Reservoir. Yeah, so, and not everyone was of the same mindset. I mean, and still to this day, you know, you have people that look at that project and they realize, well, without that, Payson wouldn't have any growth. There will not be any progress, you know, we would be very limited in what we would be able to do as far as building or bringing in new businesses and so on. So that was really the crux of Payson being able to grow, along with sanitary district.
Right.
You know, in their expansion, because you have the water, so you can supply water to new residents and you can have new construction, but if it doesn't have a place to flow or go, then, yeah.
And you know, I've been here a long time.
Yeah.
Growth, just unplanned growth is not good. But planned growth done correctly is very good, and the town is doing a very good job of it. Again, I just returned from Chicago on a meeting leadership meeting, and part of it was to do with the growth issues, the affordability, lack of home ownership, and a lot of it had to do with low inventory, why, some of the reasons, financing, NIMBYism, which is not in my backyard, but
Yeah.
it's an issue, and nobody has the real answer, but it's continually working through the process.
Yeah, so wait a second, Clark, you're saying it just isn't here in Payson?
It's everywhere, everywhere.
Wait a second, there's people that would try to make you believe it's just Payson.
No. It's a national thing.
Yeah.
It's countrywide.
Well, I know I was at a conference in Tucson and talking with Florence, some individuals from Florence, and they were talking about water situation, and they have paper water down there, and I was like, paper water? What does that even mean? And they were talking and using different terms that I'd never even heard of, because we have the CAAR water and that our water system and where we're at. I said, our dilemma, our situation is we have to start building more homes. We have to get more homes in here, because if our water usage doesn't start increasing, there's a potential to lose some of those water rights.
Some of the allocations, yes.
Some of the allocations.
Yes.
So we need to, because that's been the plan.
Right.
As you said, it's not just, it's not like there isn't a plan out there, but that's been a plan that's been in place for many, many years.
Right.
Of, we're setting up infrastructure, and now, it's time to grow, time to build. So they just looked at me and they said, wait a second, that's your problem, you have to build? and so it's exciting, some of the plans that, are in the town right now, and just, it is exciting. It's exciting, it's change, which I know a lot of people, but it's been, it's been planned for a very long time.
Right.
It's not just, as you said, uncontrolled and just things being done haphazardly.
Right. And we need to increase the property tax base here.
Yeah.
We do. It's a great place. I can't think of anywhere else I'd want to live, but planned growth is good, and you're right. The only thing constant in this world is change.
Yeah. It's there was that saying, what is it? Two certainties, death and taxes.
Yeah.
I added one to it. Death, taxes, and bitching. Where these days it seems like complaining.
The third one.
Where there's a third one, where it doesn't matter where you go or what you're doing, there's going to be somebody complaining about it. So,
and I talked to a lot of people about that too. It's like, you can only control what you can control, and it's so hard to, you especially in our fields right now, it's like, it's so volatile, and what things are going on, and negativity, and I'm like, hey, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, my daily activities, tracking them, not getting down and turning negative, because it's never a good thing, especially for our lines of work, like to generate business. Like, if you're constantly negative, it's just, people can feel that. And I get it, it's easy to go down that path, but like you said, but it's
well, and I think it's good to point out, because over the years, and I never really understood why, but real estate agents or realtors, there was sometimes with some groups a negative connotation. Oh, yeah, they're a realtor. Oh, you don't want a realtor in there, or this. And I never, not being close to the industry, I just never really understood why, because what I saw was the involvement of realtors in the community and the positive things that realtors had done over the years in Payson and surrounding communities. And you're pointing out, Clark, everything that the groups have done politically, standing up not just for realtors, but other industries and other people So all of the hours, the money spent, just all of it, I guess some people look at realtors and they're just like self-serving, or it's all about them, but it's really the contrary. And that's what I've seen. I've seen more evidence and more examples of realtors that are truly invested and care about the community than just are taking from the community. Am I wrong?
No, it's a mixed bag, and that's partly our fault, the realtor fault, for not educating and putting it out there what it's really like.
Gotcha.
In reality, a realtor wakes up every morning, and if the realtor has no listings or buyer broker agreements signed, they're basically unemployed.
Well.
Yeah. So it's a same as lenders. It's constant helping people get where they want to go, and taking the difference. Like I said earlier, the difference between a licensed agent and a realtor. A realtor signs on the line, abides by the code of ethics, and in reality, representation is first and foremost. Getting paid is secondary. That's how we earn our living, representing clients.
Yeah. Well,
and there's so many too, like we're talking about, like how so many people have like bad taste with realtors in their mouth, and then now you see all these like quick and easy home selling, companies where we'll just charge a flat fee of whatever, and they'll help you. And it's still, at the end of the day, there's so many studies and data points that show using a realtor, you will net more selling your home. But I get it, people see the, quick and easy to get out of there, just get done. But I'm sure you could elaborate more on that, but yeah.
There's different business models, but I do want to put one thing across to the public. If you're done with a transaction and you feel that it just wasn't right, by all means, reach out to the local association, the state association. We want to know if you're harmed or not feeling good about the transaction. Reach out.
Yeah. Not posted on social media.
No, in the comments section.
And contact the local association or the state association. That we have, avenues for that particular issue.
Yeah, if they don't know, they'll think everything's okay. And that's a good point.
Well, there you go. Wow, it's 10:30. Just like that. It
always goes fast.
I know.
This is great.
But it's really good. Thank you so much, Clark, for coming on today. Thank you, Kevin, for bringing Clark in to share, to inform people. And like you said, you're just like scratching the surface here. How, if people want to find out, more about Central Arizona Association of Realtors, you have a website, or?
Yes, we have a website. Also, the local phone number, you can reach us there. Okay. We have staff at the association office that runs the office day to day. Leadership is executive committee, board of directors, and then the membership. So, the phone number is listed on Google phone number. Like I said, reach out. We're here to help any way we can.
And I encourage local businesses too to join as a business affiliate.
Yes.
I've been a member since coming up about 6 years now. October of this year will be 6 years. And business affiliates have the ability to join the association as a business, and you get access to the meetings and get more involved and really find out. And it's a good way to help your own business. So good. And the staff at the office is amazing too, by the way.
Gotcha. And that phone number, it's 928-474-1944.
Yeah.
And that's for the Central Arizona Association of Realtors. And I believe you are still in the offices across from Tiny's.
Yes,
All the way to the end?
all the way to the back,
All the way-
behind Tiny's.
Behind Tiny's there, all the way to the back. All right, well, thank you again.
Thanks,
Chris.
Thank
You have
you.
it.
See ya.
And yeah, thank you everyone for listening and watching today. And time to get back to the music here. And but first, we're going to get a quick update from the National Weather Service. Looks like we're going to have some nice weather this weekend, and then possibly some rain earlier this week. And then going to have music by Bruce Springsteen, Weezer, and more. So you guys have a great Friday.
With this morning's KRIM weather forecast.
All right, thanks, guys. Yeah.